Up, Soft Sound Press family. This is Angel, and I'm here today with Olivia Klugman. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing so good. First off, congratulations on your new single. It is
Thank you so much.
incredible.
Thank you.
And the most awesome thing about this single is that it went viral on TikTok. Like, which is obviously everybody knows what the heck TikTok is nowadays. And like it's been such a great platform for like independent musicians and artists. And you got like basically 800,000 views on like one of your main, like, how did you expect it to blow up like that? Like when you first initially posted it?
I did not expect it to blow up. I wrote that song in such a weird time in my life. Like I was in intense transition. So I think that was, I can't remember if it was like right before I first moved to, yeah, I think it was right before I first moved to LA. I was like staying on my parents' guest room. And I was sleeping on the couch because the bed was really uncomfortable. But I like had made these plans to like move to LA for a couple months to check it out to see if I liked it. So I was just in the suburbs in like suburbs of Portland, and I was like sleeping on my parents' couch, and I was like kind of like thinking about just all of these life changes that were going to happen and how it was weird that I was, sleeping at my parents' house, but I also was feeling really excited and really confident for the changes that were coming. And so it was like 1 a.m. I like couldn't sleep, and I was like thinking about my past self. And then I was like, actually, like, I bet if the person that I was a couple years ago saw me now, like they would think I was pretty cool. And they might even have a little crush on me. So that's what started. And I woke up in the middle of the night because I like heard the song in my head and I like wrote it down. And then the next day is when I finished the first verse and posted the video. And I was like, I never know what's going to really do well on TikTok. I just kind of, it's one of those platforms where you can't predict it. And even though like I have somewhat of a following, like I never have any idea. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just post this song and see how it does. Cause I always like to post things when they're fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted it and then it did super, super well. And I was like, I really didn't expect that song to do that well. Cause I wrote it in like 10 minutes and I was like, yeah, I'll just put it out there. And yeah, I just was really shocked by how deeply it resonated with people. And once I kind of got settled in LA, I finished it up. But yeah, it's been so incredible to just like hear from people and like watch people's videos. Like people have made videos of their own showing like themselves a couple years ago and themselves today, and just like celebrating their growth. And also knowing, I think so much of the song is celebrating your growth while recognizing that you're not perfect and you're not like maybe what your past self projected you to be, but it's still important to celebrate yourself. So yeah.
And period. I love that so much because like, I mean, you said you didn't expect it to, blow up the way it did because it was like a 10-minute song. Sometimes the most special songs that resonate people the hardest are literally written within a matter of minutes. You never know like how a song can resonate and touch somebody. And I love the perspective that you gave in this song. And it's a song that can connect with basically anybody when they're on their own self-love journey, reflection period, because that's what it did for me, because I'm currently in like a reflection period myself, and I'm 23.
Oh, cool. So it's like pretty good age matchup.
Exactly, because I was like, I'm 23 and
Yeah.
I'm listening to this and I'm reflecting on who I was at 21, and I was just like sitting there just like crying. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, because I've often fantasized about like what it would be like to sit across from the person I was a few years ago. And I'm sure, like you said, like that same thing kind of crossed your mind. You're like, man, 21-year-old me would be like in awe of like
Yeah.
what has happened in the span of like maybe 2-3 years. So it's insanity. And I looked at some of your comments like in that initial TikTok post you made, and it was so cute. People saying like, this is like an iced chai lavender like latte in a song, like the most, because it feels like a hug. Like it feels like self-help feels like a hug. Like it feels like, you know, I'm not where I was yesterday, and I might not be quote unquote where I want to be today, but I'm happy with where I am now, and I'm going to love myself through it. And that's basically the message that you sent through that. And it's just, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, it's just very sweet to like hear that, and just it is so fulfilling, because like at the end of the day, what I want is just to like yeah, like for my music to provide comfort for people and to provide a sense of being understood, and that's like the most fulfilling thing I can hear. So thank you. And like honestly, like I had a lot of doubts about this song. Like I literally talk about that, and I'm like I'm still full of doubts and like fear, and like I'm new to the music industry and I don't know what I'm doing really. Like I have so many doubts. I don't know what the right decision is. I don't know if I should stay independent. I don't know if like I'll be able to like monetize this in a way that can support myself. There's like I have so many doubts, and I had doubts with this song. I was like, is this too cheesy? Is it too like overly sentimental? Am I going to be taken seriously as a musician, and like all of this stuff? And I just think it's like a little bit ironic that I had all those doubts and like all of these like fears specifically about this song, because I think I've kind of come to a better place with it now. And I think what's so special about it is that it is just like, it's really straight from like where I was feeling. Like I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't trying to be intellectual. I wasn't trying to be like anything that I'm not. I was just saying exactly what was on my mind and playing simple chords and just like kind of, it was like a little journal entry turned into a song kind of. Like not literally, but that's kind of how it feels. And I think I've like come to the realization that like I'm like what matters is that people resonate with it, and what matters is that it's connecting with people. And it doesn't matter if I sound indie enough or am inaccessible enough. Like that doesn't matter, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. And some of my favorite music is you know, like I love like Taylor Swift and the Weepies, and it's you know soft and feels like a hug a lot of the time. So yeah, I did go through my own journey of doubt with this song, and it, you know, its content actually is the thing that helped me through that. So it's cool to think about that.
Man, that's awesome. Like when I think about self-care, it's just, it sometimes it makes my brain explode, because like 21-year-old version you is asking the version of, you know, who you are now all these questions and wanting to know these things. And then when you think about it, who you are in the future, like you're now in the shoes of that 21-year-old. You're looking at like who you will be in the next couple of years, and like, hey, like what's next? What am I doing here? And they're just helping you. They're guiding you through it. And it's like, you know, like, okay, you may not have it all figured out, but you know, we're working through this together and we're just enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about like the destination per se, but it's all about the people you meet along the way and just all those little life lessons and journeys. Like that's what molds you into and shapes you into who you become. So yeah, it's so cool. What does self-care mean to you? Because that's something that it's different for everybody. And I know for some people it's bubble baths or a self-help book or being outside in nature. Like what does it mean to you?
I think it just means like I think, yeah, there's so many, I feel like I've thought a lot about the concept of self-care, and I feel like there's like a lot of companies are like I don't know, commodifying it and like being like, oh, like do this for your self-care. And like I don't think it's about any action necessarily. I mean, for me, I definitely think that like being out in nature is a really big one. Like if I don't get outside at least like once a day and spend some serious time outside, even if it's just like in my neighborhood, like that's definitely a huge part of it for me. But I also think just like having a voice in your head that is like caring for you, that's kind of like saying like, and I think that's like what kind of what I say at the end of the song, being like, all of the different versions of myself are there for me when I can't,
Yeah.
when like wherever I'm at right now in the present moment is like spiraling or like getting super worried, like I can, like, it's just taking care of yourself, like self parenting in a way. And I think that when you're in your 20s, that's like the most important time to develop a self-parent voice that's like,
Absolutely.
that's like, hey, like you're doing your best and you've come so far, and like just being kind to yourself and like having a kind voice in your head that's just kind of like being gentle with you. Because I think so many of us just tend to not be gentle with ourselves and tend to be really hard on ourselves, and like just having maybe an older version of yourself, like, yeah, like I feel like there's like the older person who's wiser and just saying like, it's okay, like it's all going to work out, you don't have to worry about this thing that you're so worried about right now, like you can just be gentle with yourself. And then also the younger person who's like, why are you worried about this, everything is so cool, you're doing so great. And so just kind of like, yeah, like letting those people come in when the present moment feels really overwhelming. And
It's like a cheerleader and a parent.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, having a cheerleader and a parent on either side of you, being like, it's gonna be okay, and like letting yourself just take letting yourself take what you need, I think. And not, that's been a huge lesson actually just with this promotion cycle of my song. Like I, you know, as an artist, we try to promote our songs, we try to like do what we can to like get the message out there. And I think that I made a couple of videos and then I just ended up feeling so burnt out from like creating content and from putting my face out there and from like getting, you know, worrying about what I'm getting back and like doing all of that I was like, okay, I need to take a break. Like I had plans to continue posting videos after the song came out, but I was like, I can't do that. And just like letting yourself take what you need, even if it's different than what you planned.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like looking after your own mental health and physical and emotional, that's top priority at the end of the day. And having that time and that boundary set, like, okay, I have done this, and this. Now I can technically, in a way, unplug for a while. Not like hop off the face of the earth, but give yourself that time to be like, okay, I've done all I could for right now in this aspect. Now it's time to go within again and spend time with myself and give yourself the love that you need to kind of refill your own cup again.
Totally. Yes, exactly.
That's
yeah.
so important.
And I think like when we get overwhelmed, it feels like we can't, like, it's like, I can never, it's like, sometimes I feel like I can never make another TikTok again, or like, I can never have a job again or whatever. And then you realize that it doesn't actually take that much care and unplugging to reset, like, and to have the natural motivation to do the things you need to do. Like I feel like like the other week I was like, I need to take 3 weeks off of everything. And then I took 2 days off and I was like, oh, that's all I actually needed. But yeah.
All it takes is just some little time and some TLC for yourself. And once you're grounded and your mind isn't going like a million miles an hour, then you're able to process and think straight and then think about what you want to do next.
Yeah.
That's the wisest thing to do. Last question. What advice would you give your listeners when it comes to their own healing self-care journey? Because this song is a literal love letter to the listener, from like their, like we said, younger self, older self, and then some. But in your own eyes and your own words, like what advice would you give them if they're on their own start?
I would say to prioritize your pleasure and prioritize celebration and fun. And yeah. And I think that there's the part of the song that went viral, but then I kind of have other parts of the song. But yeah, like the kind of chorusy refrain part that I have, it's like, I get caught up in the forward crawl, I forget to see the beauty of it all. And I feel like it's like, yeah, when you like, especially when I was in high school and college, I was so just like anxious and worried about what was going to happen, about like school, about like like what people thought of me, how I was being perceived, and like that I just ended up, and I still struggle with this, letting that anxiety of the future and what's going to happen really impede on moments that were genuinely just like so beautiful and so meaningful. I felt like I look back on moments and I was like, that was objectively a beautiful time to be alive and be with my friends and like feeling so much love. But I had this voice in my head that was so worried about things that were going to happen and like how I was being perceived. That's just like let yourself just be in moments of pleasure and enjoyment, and like let yourself follow that more often. And I think, yeah, the song is really about celebrating yourself and like celebrating where you are despite maybe some imperfections. And yeah, so I think like in the past couple of years I've really started, and especially like, yeah, in the midst of a pandemic, it's really hard sometimes to just feel like, okay, it's fine to just enjoy this. It's fine to just like bask in the joy of being around people and bask in the joy of being outside. And yeah, just like feel your pleasure, feel your joy in big ways.
Amen. Seriously, I get you preach to me right now. Seriously,
just feel your joy.
Joy, man, feel your joy.
Yeah.
that should be on the shirt. That should be on the shirt. Merch idea.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you. Guys, it's on all streaming platforms. Check it out. I'm so excited to see what is to come for you. Like, I'm going to be, watching everything that you do and just supporting you along the way. And yeah, I'm excited for you. You have good things coming. I know it.
Thank you so much. It was so great talking to you. And yeah, I just really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to just do this.
Of course. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. Guys, this is Angel with Soft Sound Press. It's Olivia. And yeah, stay safe out there. Bye, guys.